Right. Hello all. In the previous lecture, we discussed the evolution of modern economy, the various evolution of various financial instruments, and different types of loans, and how corporates raise the money for establishing and expansion of industries. Okay. So in this lecture, we'll discuss evolution of various sectors of the economy. See, what is the meaning of sectors of economy? I already told you, economy means production activities. So sectors of economy means the production activities in the economy are divided into three sectors in general. Okay, so in general, the economic activities in the economy are divided into three sectors. So they are primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Now our point of discussion is how these three sectors are evolved. How these three sectors are evolved. See, first of all, what is the need to study economy? What is the need to study the production activities? You should have an answer for this question. So the thing is, we study the production activities because the livelihood of the people, the survival of the people or the well-being of the people depend on the production activities. Okay, if every one of us has work, if every one of us has an organized work or an organized employment or a formal employment, then definitely our living standards will become better. Am I clear? So the main focus of studying this economy is to improve the living standards of the people. Okay, right. Now we will discuss how the primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector came into existence. Right. So as I said earlier, till the mid 18th century, common man depended on natural products. That means there was no manufacturing activity prior to the 18th century. Okay, we used to depend on nature for our survival. Okay, for example, products like paddy or rice, wheat, fishes, milk, cotton, and stones by quarrying. Okay, we used to get all these products from the nature. Of course, right now also we are getting the all these products from the nature. So the thing is, till the mid 18th century, common man depend on natural products. That means the products which are made by the nature. Okay, so all the products which I have mentioned in this example are made by the nature. Right? So the primary sector means these are the activities that are undertaken directly by the natural resources. Directly by the natural resources, like raising of crops, milk production, fisheries, etc. So all these activities come under the primary sector. So primary sector means the activities that are undertaken directly by the natural resources. Am I clear? So for example, raising of crops, this is undertaken by the land, soil. And milk, it is undertaken by the animals, domestic animals. And fisheries, it is undertaken by the water resources. So what I am trying to say is, the economic activities which are performed by the natural resources come under the primary sector, right? So the products of these activities are known as natural products. And not only agriculture products, minerals and ores are also natural products. Yes or no? For example, petroleum, coal, and stones, different varieties of stones which are used in the construction process. All these are part of the natural products. Am I clear? Right. So when goods are produced by exploiting natural resources, it is considered to be an activity of primary sector. Okay. So this is called primary sector as it forms the base for all other sectors. Yes or no? For example, the products which are derived from the primary sector are used in the remaining two sectors. Am I clear? So as it is a base for the remaining economic activities, it is called as a primary sector. Am I clear? We are discussing The evolution of various sectors of economy. So sectors of economy means production activity. Sectors of economy means the production activities are classified into three, or the production activities are divided into three. They are primary, secondary and tertiary. Then what type of activities come under the primary sector? The activities which directly depend on natural resources, okay, or the products which are derived from the nature, okay, such activities come under the primary sector. For example, horticulture, sericulture, and honey farming, okay, and rice cultivation, wheat cultivation, quarrying, mining activities, and mineral exploration. All these activities come under primary sector because these economic activities derive products from the nature, and these products are made by the natural resources. Am I clear? So that's why these activities are called as primary sector. Am I clear? Right. Then next, secondary sector. So these are the activities in which natural products are changed into other forms. Am I clear? So let us take an example. Cotton. It is the product of the primary sector. Why? Cotton is derived from the nature. Cotton is made by the natural resources. Okay. So it is derived from the nature. That's why it is primary sector. Okay. Then the cotton is transformed into cloths, and the cloths are made by the textile industries, the machines. So it comes under secondary sector. Am I clear? So the activities, the economic activities which involve in the process of transforming the products which are available from the nature into the final products. Final products means the products which are consumed by us. Okay. If here there is a human intervention, here the human beings are forming the products. You know, cloths are not made by the nature. Cloths are made by the human being. Okay. So the products made by the human beings come under the secondary sector. So the products made by the nature come under the primary sector. Please try to understand. Did you understand? Right? Yes. So this is a simple example. So apply this analogy to the remaining products as well. Okay. For example, iron ore. Okay. We derive iron ore from the earth. So it is a primary sector. And this iron ore, from this iron ore, steel products are extracted by the human beings. So this is secondary sector. Okay, right. And so this product is not produced by nature. As I said, these cloths or the steel products are not produced by the nature. Therefore, some manufacturing process is involved. Okay, so this can be a factory or a workshop at home. And this sector is also known as industrial sector. Am I clear? See, primary sector is also known as agricultural sector, agriculture and allied sectors, agriculture and allied activities. Okay, and this sector, the secondary sector, is also called as industrial sector because here manufacturing process is involved. Okay, now if you look at the tertiary sector, here no goods are produced, only services are produced. That's why tertiary sector is called as a facilitator. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, if you take cotton is the product of primary sector and cloth is the product of secondary sector. See, once the cloths are manufactured in the industries, so these cloth material or these cloths are to be sold in the shopping mall. So this shopping mall provides a service to sell the cloths. So therefore, here shopping mall comes under the tertiary sector. Here shopping mall is not producing any product. Shopping mall is just providing a platform for the cloths to be sold. So therefore, this comes under the tertiary sector. So it is providing a service. Am I clear? For example, iron ore. It is the product of the primary sector because iron ore is produced by the nature, not by the human beings. The steel products are produced by the human beings by using the iron ore, right? This comes under secondary sector. And once the steel products are manufactured, these steel products are to be moved to the market. Okay, so to move or to transport this steel products to the market, there is transportation. So here there is no, products are not produced by the transport sector. So transport sector is just a facilitator to transport the manufactured products. So this transportation come under the tertiary sector. Am I clear? Am I making sense? Yes. If you take ATMs, they provide financial services. They don't manufacture money. They provide financial services. So this come under service sector. And health. Doctors provide a service. Doctors won't manufacture goods. They provide service to us. When the health of the people is good, then only they can participate in the activities of the primary sector as well as secondary sector. Next, education. And when there is a good education, then only the resources of the nature can be exploited judicially. And then only the products which are derived from the nature can be transformed into end use or the final products. Okay. So therefore, tertiary sector provides an aid for both the primary sector and the secondary sector. Okay. Meaning these three sectors are integrated in one way or other way. Okay. They cannot be isolated from each other. Cannot be isolated from one another. Am I clear? Yes? Sorry. Therefore, to conclude, we can say that service sector is very essential for growth of the two sectors. Okay, dear students, I hope you have understood how the primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector came into existence. So this is the evolution of primary, secondary and tertiary sector, because the need of humanity, there is a famous saying, need is the mother of invention. Need is the mother of invention. Okay, initially there was only one sector, that is primary sector, and due to industrialization, the secondary sector came into existence. In order to supply the goods which are produced by the secondary sector, there is a need of service sector. So therefore, service sector came into existence. So in this way, the three sectors of the economy are evolved. We can say that the three sectors of economy have been evolving from time to time in order to boost up the economic activities. Okay, right? Okay. So in the coming lecture, in the next lecture, we will discuss the gross domestic product. Okay? Right. Thank you very much.